everyone, Moisa here, back with another video. I just did my makeup because it looked bad, but I just want to do like a little bit of a TLDR of the Mean Girls, the musical movie. That's a name. So I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to talk about the acting, the music, and then the changes. So let's first talk about the acting.
You could be really hot if you changed like everything.
I feel like each character did what they had the range for. Let's say that. Okay, great. And by that I mean in the nicest way possible. The best actors in this were Renee Rapp, the girl who plays Janice, who also is Moana, kind of a slay, and the guy who plays Damien, which I checked his social media. He only has like 9 posts, so he's very new to social media fame. Super interesting. Those three, the best actors of the movie. The actors that I feel like I expected more from but didn't get more from were obviously the original cast, so all of the original teachers, which is like Tina Fey, the principal, the gym teacher.
Hormones. WHO.
What is going on?
Don't worry about it.
They were lacking a little bit because I feel like you did this role 20 years ago, you did it so well, so I expected a lot from it, and then like they just didn't deliver the way I wish that they delivered. Like I just wanted them to have a little bit more, but I understand technically it's not your movie, it's not a movie about the teachers. So, but yeah, their acting is kind of like middle tier-ish for me. I think that's it. Yeah, I think they're the only ones that I would qualify as like fine. No, qualify as expect more, didn't receive what I wanted. And then after that, we have the fine tier. And the fine tier is like the first half, you lost me. You were not it for me, but then you redeemed yourself in the second half. And those people are a lot of the cast actually. And that is going to be Gretchen and Karen's characters. I think that like the first 2 scenes that I saw them in, which was the Meet the Plastic song and then the Katie has a crush on Aaron Samuels, they were acting to like the back of the room. It was like they were doing an actual stage production and they were acting to the back of the theater versus like everyone else in this movie was acting like they were in a movie. If that makes any sense to you, thank you. They were overacting for the first 2 scenes. Like even the girl who was playing Karen, she was like this, and I was like, please stop, please. We get it, you're meant to be dumb, but you don't have to just bounce. Like you don't have to just bounce. And maybe that was a directed choice. I'm not the director. I'm just the watcher. But I feel like they were overacting, and then I feel like after they get to the Regina's house, after Gretchen's song, is when I feel like they both kind of like understood and went into like the proper energy of everyone else. I feel like the guy who plays Kevin G, why did I say that? He was actually really good.
Bruner, why is he by our table?
I can hear you, by the way.
I really enjoyed his scenes. Every time he was in the scene, he did really well. He was funny, but he was also like not overacting. Really enjoyed that. What I enjoyed about our top 3 of this movie, Renee Rapp, Regina, Janice, Damien, is they just knew the audience they were doing it for, you know? Like, I feel like Renee Rapp played a Regina that is more Gen Z than what we got from Rachel McAdams in the 2004 edition, who was playing more millennial. So I really like the tempering of Regina to fit the current climate of teenagers. Like, I feel like she made more sense in this term of like Gen Z Regina George versus like millennial Regina George. So I really, really enjoyed that. I think her singing, she was such a good singer. The guy who played Damien, every joke he had landed. Every funny thing he did landed. Like especially like the party scene where Janice and Damien go to Katie's house and she's having a party and like they're riding on like the grandma scooter. That was really funny. The scene where they introduced the movie and like he's in the background while Janice is singing and like he's doing like fun ad-libs and fun singing, like that worked really well for me. Every scene that he was in I knew was a good scene. I laughed, I enjoyed it, he was great. Oh, and I almost forgot him singing the iCarly theme song in French. 10 out of 10. The French was butchered. Because I went to watch the movie with my friend from France. It was butchered, but we thoroughly enjoyed it because it was hilarious. Janice, I think she was great. I think her last song, which is like I don't want to be your friend, like I'd rather not be your friend, whatever. That was probably her worst of the songs, but it was good. It was just giving Encanto, what else can I do vibes, but it makes sense because she's a Disney actress, so you know, I'm gonna let her have it. I'm gonna let her have it because the rest of her songs amazing. And Regina's mom in this, love, slay, icon, love her. Katie's mom, kind of boring, kind of just there to be there. She did fine, she was fine, but she was just there to be there. Regina's mom, she, I think it's Busy Phillips who plays her. She took all her moments.
If you need to talk to me about anything, boy troubles, blackheads, or alcohol poisoning, I have been through it all.
Every second of screen time she was in, you better believe she was acting, she was interacting, she was engaging, she was funny, and thank God for her. Life send. Is life send even a proper phrase? I don't know. Loved her. She was really good. She also made me laugh for probably all her scenes. They do lose some of the iconicness with like the fake boob joke that they make in the first movie, and like she's not as overtly like as like the first mom, but I like it. She's like a very like I'm a social media mom, I'm a cool mom, and like I like that she's more involved. She was really fun. I really enjoyed her character as well. Let's get into the music.
My name is Regina George.
Okay, I'm like doing this in stress. I'm also meant to be working on like a person's birthday gift. That will be done hopefully by next weekend because their birthday was last week, and then I wasn't here last week, so as soon as I came back into the city, when I went to work, I made them a gift, but I have to put it together. I don't know if I want to paint it or not, because it's a whole thing. Anyway. The first song we get is by Damien and Janice, and they sing so well. I was so impressed with their singing. I think they sang really strong. They really brought like a good energy into the movie. And then it just plummets. It just goes down here. And that is unfortunately, I didn't talk about them. That's how bad I just didn't like. Katie's actress. We got her next, and she sings. And the way when she sang, I was so upset because we had just gone from like this very powerful singing, powerful voices, just charismatic, great performance to like her. And I don't think she's a bad actress. I just think she's too new. I just think she's too fresh, she's too new, and they made her play probably one of the most iconic characters for a specific generation, my generation. Technically I'm Gen Z, but technically I'm not. It's weird because I know more things about millennial culture than I know about Gen Z culture. But they have her basically play one of the most iconic characters, and she cannot deliver it. And it was hard and sad to see that she couldn't deliver it. So the reason I say this, it goes from like really great to plummet in like the first minute, is we get this really strong, powerful song. It kind of like gives us exposition, explains the movie without like telling you everything, but explains the movie. And you should know the movie if you're watching this movie. If you don't, why are you in this theater? You would hate it. And some people did.
All right. Well, challenge accepted.
And so we get like her singing, and we go from like belting, strong, powerful to like a little tiny voice. Like I'm like, I don't hear what are you saying? Like it was it was not it. It was not a good introduction to Katie, and she just did not continue. She continued delivering that like low energy, and I was like, girl, we need this. We need more, like more energy, more something. And it, And so essentially we get her like going to school. We see her going through her first day, and like that's like basically the second song. And it was, I do like seeing like how they make a stage production into a movie though, because this is more than like The Greatest Showman. and more than like probably every other musical movie I've ever watched, like High School Musical and everything like that. They really took this idea of the moving stage so literally, where certain scenes you can see how like she opens the door and it's a different set, and like I like that. I like the kind of like homage and like very much linked to the musical without being fully like the musical aspect of it. And so it gets us like to the lunchroom scene pretty quickly. This movie felt fast and slow at the same time. I was very confused. I was like, why does it feel like we're getting through scenes so quick, but why does it feel like we're going so slow through this story? Like by the time we made it to her evil arc, I was like, we're not done. We've been here for like 2 hours. Like what? Like it was weird. But essentially we get her like learning about the cliques of the movie, and it was like fine. It wasn't as fun as when they introduced the cliques in the actual movie. So unfortunate times. And after we get her introduction to the cliques of the school, we get the introduction of the Plastics with the song called Meet the Plastics, where we meet Renee Rapp, Regina, for the very first time. And I fell in love with this woman. I didn't listen and / learn of Renee Rapp until probably 2023 when the marketing of this movie started. And when I did, I was like, okay, let me listen to like her songs. And like she did a collab with Megan Thee Stallion, so I listened to it and I was like, low-key, she can sing. And so I started listening to her music more. So I knew going into this, okay, she can sing. And we get the cringiest introduction. It's not bad because I've listened to the song a lot post movie, which is the "My name is Regina George" kind of intro, and I was like, I cringed, but then she got more into it and I was like, okay, slay. Kind of a slay. And the scene wasn't like as wow entrance moment as I wished it would have been, but I think it was pretty good, especially compared to like the previous song we had, which was Katie's song. I think it was significantly better. I did enjoy like Renee Rapp's energy as Regina. She gave very much like Gen Z Mean Girl versus like millennial Mean Girl, and so I really enjoyed kind of like the subtleties and like the personality that I think more so matched what I would expect of like a Gen Z Mean Girl. Also not in high school right now, so I cannot tell you if actual Gen Z agree with me or if that's actually how Gen Z Mean Girls are. But I think I like the subtle changes. I like that she was more like cool. I love like the all leather outfit instead of like in the first movie she had like a leather mini skirt with like a pink top and like a camisole, which is really cute. So I think the styling, I like both stylings. I'm more of a skirts person though, but like I like the styling of this. I think it fits the generation, especially like looking at my cousin who's currently 17, very much on the pulse of what they act like and dress like, not gonna lie. And so basically we get her introduction. She has Katie sit with them, and then they go through the whole like, well, like she's friends with Janice and Damien, blah blah. They're not friends with Janice and Damien. Like we know the plot. The introduction doesn't really talk about Karen or Gretchen. They're kind of just at the table, but they talk after the song. And again, I said this in my thoughts of the acting. They were just going too hard. They were acting to the back of the theater, and it was very stressful. And I was like, please, tone it down, stop, calm down. But yeah, that was like the third song. Great song, loved it. I love every Renee Rapp song in this movie, as well as every the actress for Janice. I just can't properly pronounce her name. But all of her songs are also really, really good. So those two carried the soundtrack. But we get into the next song, which is another song by the actress who plays Katie, Stress. And this is the song where we get introduced to Aaron Samuels, who was the other person I didn't talk about in my actors breakdown, just because Katie and Aaron were just... They could have just been there, and it's fine if you're there, but you aren't as important as everyone else, no offense, in this version. Like, I was more interested in everyone else more than I was interested in Katie, and then more so, like, I was even more interested in the guy who plays Aaron more than I was interested in Katie. Like, those two were probably my least, like, I'm least interested in actors in this whole movie. But he's introduced, and in his introduction, it's through, like, Katie's song about, like, Smart with math and stupid with love. And that's not the name of the song, but I don't remember the song. He turns around, right? He turns to look at her. And when he turns to look at her, my friend next to me, love her, she says to me, not in a whisper, in a theater of like 15 people, she says, he's meant to be hot? Ew. And I was like, shh, you can't say that in a theater. You can't. You literally cannot say that.
Are you trying to make the rest of us feel dumb?
I'm not trying to, it's just happening.
It's not that I disagree. He's not my type. He's someone's type. He's not mine. He's obviously not hers. But I looked him up after the movie, and he is more attractive outside of the Aaron Samuels persona. Like his hair, when it's not like that particularly, he's better with not that hairstyle. And my friend whose birthday that we went there for, he said that he's actually the guy from The Summer I Turned Pretty. Never watched it, but they said it's a good movie, TV show on Amazon Prime. Haven't watched it. So yeah, that was the next song. And from what I've seen, a lot of people who watch the musical don't like this song, and I watched a quick TikTok on it, and I think the reason is the song is like more upbeat and energized in the musical, and here it is so bland, it is so slow, it is so painful, it is And this is also the scene where most people who have watched the movie who didn't know it was a musical, this is where they start leaving the theater or like groaning, and it is hilarious, but also like maybe mark your movie as a musical. I don't know. Just because you put a music note in the A of Mean Girls doesn't mean everyone will know it's a musical. So yeah, that was a thing. That song, probably low-key her best song in the whole movie compared, because the intro song was bad. I'm sorry. I hated the intro song that she sang. Not the Janice Damian one. That one's really good. Hers, bad. Theirs, good. Got it. Thank you. We're moving on. But then we get a scene that forever haunts me, is probably the worst scene of the movie, which is when she tells like Gretchen and Karen that she has a crush on Aaron. The acting is again to the back of the room, to the back of the theater. Because it was ill-timed, it was ill-performed, it was everything about it was bad. Like the acting, everything about that scene was just so cringy. And I'm like, this was probably such a simple scene. You just have to be like, oh, you can't like him, like he's her ex-boyfriend. But they were going. And I was like, where can you go with this one line? No. It was so bad. It was so bad. It hurt me. It hurt me a little bit. Next we get, I'm chewing gum. It hurts me. Like I'm in such pain thinking about this movie. Next we get the great scene of, what's the next song? Ooh, Apex Predator. That's a slay. Whoever thought of Apex Predator? Yes, I know it's from the musical, but wow, that song's so good. They don't do the watering hole thing as good as they do it in the first movie, but the song is great. There is one part of the song I do want to talk about, and that is the slow motion walk of Renee Rapp walking through the halls as Una School. The first half of it, why does she look like she was mid facial expression transition? Because her face just looks so weird when she was walking at first, and I was like, why is she making that face? But then when she got towards the outside, and eventually outside, her face changed. That's such a weird statement. Her face was more normal, and I was like, yes, good. This is what we wanted, not whatever her face was happening in the first half. Second half face, slay. The first half, ooh, who shot that and didn't do a retake? Rude. Her top was also just like, I want to like straighten it out because it bothered me. I loved the joggers. I don't look good in those. I bought a pair like last year and I returned it immediately. It was not cute on me, but the joggers were cute. The shirt was cute, but ill, like perfect. Like it felt like you just needed to like turn it to the center, pull it down, and it would be more, but it wasn't. That hurt me as well. So I don't know why I chose to chew gum. I'm sorry. I apparently I just needed something to do, so that's what I did. But that also hurt me. But the song, good. I like the whole, like, instead of like in the first movie, Adrena calls the girl's mom. It's like, your daughter's pregnant or whoever. And then this one, it's more just like they took the animal approach literally, and she like growls at her or does like a lion's roar or something at her, or that scares her away, and she like scampers away like another animal. And then Gretchen like sits in his lap and he's like, I'm confused. Me too, sir, but you still pet her hair. Anyway, also crouch, what she said, she's crotch sitting is what she said, and I was like, that's a term. I've never heard that term, but that is what she's doing. So low-key, it makes sense. But at the end of the song, we get to basically get in loser, we're going shopping, but instead of it being get in loser, we're going shopping, it's just get in loser.
Get in, loser.
And she delivered that so well. Like when she delivered that, I was like, oh. Like, I know a lot of people probably like, why would you like that scene? But I liked it. Again, I think it's really just like the energy that she brought into the role was a different style of Regina, which I really appreciated. So I really did appreciate her line delivery on like the iconic lines. She delivered them differently, and it again recontextualized Regina as to what I think a Regina in Gen Z would be like. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I really like that. I was like, I don't know why that part got me, and I was like, ooh. But it for some reason got me in the theater. I don't know why. And great. They get in the car. They get to Regina's house, and my best way of explaining Regina's house, right, is her house in this one gives me very much 2018 architecture school, when every student was like, I want to make a circle building because all buildings are square and that's boring. Like, that's the energy it was giving. Literally, there was a girl in my major junior year who made a circle building a circular open building, which the project was, this building is going to be in Maine, and she was like, it'll just be open in the summers, and the teacher's like, that's not the criteria. It was giving that, like, that's what the house is giving. Like, someone was not following the building criteria of this house. That's what that was. Not the best house. I've seen better. Selling Sunset, even The Idol. Huh. Because if we get into the architecture of it, I won't ever leave the architecture of this house. We get into the house, we meet the mom, Busy Phillips, great job, slay. And then we get kind of the introduction of Gretchen's song. And it's sad. It's like, you know, like you feel like you have so many insecurities, and like she expresses that really well. I think the song is actually really good. It's very sad. Like, the message of it is sad. But I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the performance. And I know it's trying to be comedic as well. These are, like, the comedic, like, of Katie trying to get around her, which I was, like, kind of funny. My friend next to me didn't really like the song. She was like, why are we listening to this? But I think it does add more depth to Gretchen in the same way that they have added depth to her in 2004 version. So I liked kind of like the inclusion of her having this song. I heard that Aaron was supposed to have a song and they cut it out. And Loki, I don't know if I should be grateful or sad, because I don't know if he can sing or not. But yeah, I like that song. I really enjoyed that. And then it kind of like fast forward. They don't show a lot of her hanging out with Regina. I think it's meant to insinuate that she and Regina don't hang out as much, because the next song that we get is after a montage of like her basically showing like how awkward and bad she is at talking to him in class, until she pretends to be dumb, in which Janice is like, why would you pretend to be dumb for a man? Like, that's things that people have been doing for decades. And like, it's very much 2023 woke energy, which again fits a very Gen Z audience, I think. And so after Janice's whole speech, we get basically Aaron inviting Katie to the party. And if we remember the party, it's when things go down, which again, it took so long to get there, because we would be there already. In the first movie, we didn't have so much exposition middle between, which is why I feel like why it felt so long to get to the change is because it took us like we went to her house, we had a song from Gretchen, then we have a whole montage of her and Aaron, we have Janice telling her like don't do that, like it's too much to get there, but again might make more sense in the actual musical. I'm aware, and also musicals have intermissions, so I'm also aware of that as well being probably an issue in this movie. And so we get to the house. And I like the way they integrated cell phones in this because last time we had like the four-way phone call. I wish they did a version of the four-way phone call at some point because I think the four-way phone call is iconic and I feel like they should have done it, but they didn't. So what they do is Katie gets to the house and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot a song. The sexy song called by who plays Karen. She's so pretty, by the way. Like I was like, why are you so pretty? That's kind of mean, kind of fitting. And so we see her song and it's basically talking about like being sexy for Halloween, which makes sense. A lot of people don't like that she says dance break right before the dance break.
Dance break.
I personally like that she says it. I think it's cute. I think it's funny. It's very much like ditzy girl. I don't know. I was gonna say ditzy blonde, but we're not getting to controversial territory about her not being a blonde. But I really don't care that she's not blonde. But basically, we get her like being ditzy and being like dance break, and then they do the dance break, and I'm like, ooh, the choreo for the song was probably one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorite songs in its entirety, but I do really like the whole performance of this. It's very much like Sharpay, High School Musical 3, I Want It All vibes, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. I think that was probably one of my favorite performances to see. But that gets us to the party, and Katie walks in. I guess she's meant to be scary, but she's not super scary in her like dead zombie bride thing outfit. It was fine. It was like not. It was actually less scary than it was in the OG. And so when they're like, oh my gosh, you can't dress like that, blah blah blah, and I'm like, this is probably something that people still wear today. That so it's not like it's like pretty ugly, not ugly pretty. No, it's ugly pretty, not pretty ugly. And then I like this integration of cell phones because this is when we get the moment of Regina being like, oh my gosh, why is she invited? Like, who invited her? And you can see that she's actually upset about it. And they do like jumping back and forth while they're texting, which I like because we don't get the phone call showing that she's upset about the Aaron thing, but we get the text message and we see the interaction during the text message. Maybe they should have done like a split screen while they were texting so that way it harkens back to the first, but you know, not the director, not my vision. But then she comes up to Katie looking stunning. Wow, looking stunning. That dress, the wings, the hair, stunning. We get her, she goes to Katie and she's basically like, hey, oh, I heard you like Aaron, I can talk to him for you, you know, like I want you to be happy. And girl is dumb and is like, oh my gosh, yeah, so sweet. Dumb. But then we get the best song of the movie. Now we get the best song of the movie, which is the Renee Rapp song, which I think is like,
Yes, I look perfect. Ice queen, that's
someone's gonna get hurt. That's the song. Someone gets hurt. I have that song on repeat. I've played it at least 8 times a day since watching that movie. So good. But essentially we get the Renee Rapp song, best song of the movie, best song, wins for best song. It's the I'm Just Ken of the movie. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. And so she sings this song, and basically at the end she makes out with Aaron, and that gets Katie upset, and she leaves, and that's how they enact the plan. Why did it take us an hour and a half to get here? To get to this point in my script, with me cutting out a lot, it took 4 pages. No, absolutely not. Hate it here. But essentially, she like kisses him, and like he just forgets that he had a crush on another girl. Just like, wow, I like someone else. Wow, when did I like anyone else? Wow. Gross. And so basically she leaves, and then then we get another song. Of course we get another song, which is Revenge Party. And at the point of Revenge Party, low-key, I spaced out. Because I just couldn't do it, guys. I was like, why is the movie still going? So we get Revenge Party, and I think I only really spaced back into Revenge Party at the end. When They put the lard in the skincare cream. They gave her like the weight gain chocolate bar like in the first movie. But I spaced back in when Katie was basically like, you see, this is what I mean. They sped us up a lot. When Katie tells Aaron she's cheating on you, and that's the song ends with him opening the door and her being like, oh my gosh, I won him, smiling, and then he looks at her and he walks away. For me, I feel like this just rushed a series of events, like the rush of like going to see if she's cheating on him. And it's also like they don't use a lot of sets. It's very much a static moment of just the school. So like the cafeteria, the hallway and the classroom. Like it just felt a little too like stage production-y. But again, musical. I'm keeping that in mind that it was a musical. Just felt a little stage production-y to me. And so we get that moment. And then he gives nothing. He delivers nothing. But Renee Rapp was really funny. Her and the guy who plays Shane Omen, she just like closes the door. And I'm just like, that's low-key kind of funny. And then like he leaves, right? And so we get that song. It doesn't work out, but you know, things start shifting, right? She immediately does, at the end of Revenge Party, she does the candy cane. Middle of the song, before she tells Aaron, she does the candy cane thing, and then they're like, none for Gretchen Wieners, blah blah blah. Again, Damien, such a good actor in this. Then we get like Gretchen telling her all the secrets. They like pour water on her at the homecoming dance or the prom or whatever homecoming dance, and she revives the one. I love the slow-mo of Renee Rapp just being like, and I'm like, sure. And then everyone starts doing it, and even like the teacher, like she like smudges her eyeshadow, smudges her mascara under her eyes, and that's really funny. But yeah, that part was just too fast. I wish that was more stepped through rather than just kind of zooming through all of those pivotal points from the movie. Just probably too short in the runtime because they realized they were spending way too long at the beginning. And so after Revenge Party, Katie's basically taking over. She's not listening that Janice literally won like her arts show, and she's art showing, and she's like kind of manipulating her mom, so her mom goes to this concert they want to go to alone, so that way she can kind of like have a party but not a party because she doesn't know, because she's not Regina enough to know that when they say a few people they mean it's a party. So we skip through all this kind of bland acting, but this is her Debbie Ryan moment, so it's important to mention. This is why I'm mentioning it. When Regina comes to the table and she's in sweatpants and they're like, you can't sit with us, and then Regina's like, this is all I have like that fits me right now, and they go, Katie, what do you want? Katie turns around. This is probably her best acting in this whole movie. She turns around, she crosses her legs in like this super cute outfit, super cute miniskirt, Debbie Ryan hairstyle, and she goes, I'm sorry, you can't sit with us. And her best acting in the whole movie was that scene. Wow. But that is also the moment I was like, you are Debbie Ryan, because why are you giving, like, you just look like her, like you just are her, kind of vibes. And so that scene happens, and then she has the party, and at the party, Regina finds out. This time I like how she finds out. She finds out from her mother, because she's like obsessively exercising to lose weight. And her mother's like, why are you eating these bars? We gave them to your grandmother when we were trying to help her gain weight. And so that's when she realizes, oh, Katie is a manipulator. And she basically sings World Burn, which is the Regina version of the super long scream. She does scream. It's not as good. It's not giving as much as the Regina from Rachel McAdams scream, but you know, she did scream. She did something. And I love World Burn as well. That one was really fun. She writes her name into the book, and when she writes her name into the book, she essentially has like this transition into the school, and they have her wear a parallel outfit. This is probably the only time that she wears a parallel outfit to Rachel McAdams' Regina, which is like the black off the shoulder top with like the bra strap showing. She looks so good. I think that's the only outfit that she does that Rachel McAdams does. And I think that was a really well shot scene. That was a really good song. It was really well done. I really appreciated World Burn. World Burn kind of leads us into I'd Rather Be Me, which is again very Encanto, very Disney, but it makes sense. It's sang by a Disney actress, so I'll give her that. And in I'd Rather Be Me, I'd rather be me than be with you, whatever. That song, she runs to the school and they show like how girls are like two-faced a little bit and like kind of giving us that vibe. And so I don't mind it. It was fine. It's like probably my least favorite song by her, but it was okay. And then we got her telling the people, oh, like, we want to ruin Regina's life and this is how we did it and blah 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 blah. And it wasn't as cool, but I do like the way they end the song. And they end the song with kind of like showing us in the background as she's singing the song, running through the school, Katie and Regina are arguing. And as they're arguing, essentially we get this moment of like kind of seeing the Katie Regina argument from the outside in, so we're looking at it rather than being a part of it. And we end the song, she sings her final note as Regina's like, why are you so obsessed with me, and like, you'll never be me, blah blah. You can hear her say this and it's happening, and she's starting to cross the street and the bus just hits her and it drags her, and the way that it drags her is more violent, and I think it's because of the angle that we saw it at. It was violent. I was like, what? Like, it was good though. It was really well done. I was like, ooh, that, like, it was more violent and I kind of loved it. I know some people didn't like it. Some people felt like they should have shot it from the Regina perspective or the Katie perspective like last time, but it was good. Sorry to tell ya. I think it was really well done. But from this, then they go back to school and Katie's like, I didn't push her. It's not me. I didn't do it. And we get to kind of like her being suspended for 3 weeks, her mom being like, this isn't my daughter, and blah blah blah. Very long drawn out suspension scene for no reason. And then she goes back to school, she joins the mathletes. Not as fun, but this is when I died, guys. This is when I died. And this is when Lindsay Lohan makes a cameo. So they get to the competition and Lindsay Lohan is like the person asking the question. They milked her scene, because this probably took her like 2 hours to shoot, but they were zooming in. They were like getting all the Lindsay Lohan that they could from that one scene. They had her asking the question. I was like, please sing. It would be so good if she just like sang something, but she didn't. She was just there to get her money. She probably got paid like $1 million for this one day. Love that for her. Get your money. But in that, I really enjoyed that scene, just due to the nostalgia. But then we get like the really bad acting from Katie again when she's saying to the girl like, oh, like, we don't have to do this, like, we're girls, blah blah, this isn't competition. And then Lindsay Lohan's like, well, this is a competition, so you might want to do the competition. And I really like that because that was really funny. But the girl is supposed to be, based on the first movie, like not conventionally attractive, not really pretty, but this girl just gave me very like young Mila Kunis vibes. Very pretty, loved her hair. And then the comment about, oh, I like me thinking that you have bad hair, and I'm like, her hair is so voluminous and nice, she has better hair than you. What that was kind of the energy I got from that scene. And then she goes to the dance, and then at the dance she like wins homecoming queen. Shane Omen wins. She and Regina forgive each other. She and Regina had this whole conversation in the bathroom where Regina low-key hopped up on drugs to go to this dance because girl took so much medication to go to this dance. She looks stunning though. Renee Rapp looks stunning in that dress. And she was really funny with the comedic timing, where Katie was like kind of breaking the crown's throat to everyone. And so in that scene, right, she like throws the crown to everyone, and when she throws it to everyone, there's the moment of like everyone's catching it, and then Regina, obviously she's in a brace, she like can't see it, so she drops it. And that one was really funny. I actually really like that little change. It was really cute. Her breaking the crown, throwing it to the audience. Again, my friend next to me was like, how many pieces are in this crown? And I'm like, shh, disbelief, imagination. It's 50 pieces. Don't worry about it. It's 50 very large pieces of a very small crown. But then she starts singing again. No. I also didn't like this song. I just don't like her songs, y'all. I'm sorry. And so then we basically go into the dance floor. She dances with Aaron. They kiss. They've made up. This is what I liked. This is the end of the movie, essentially. This is what I liked from this experience of mine. I liked Renee Rapp singing. I liked the interpretation of Regina. I liked the small changes. One change is that Janice is actually a lesbian, kind of a slay. I liked that Gretchen does not join a new friend group, but rather, instead of being with a guy who literally does not like you, she ends up being with Kevin G, which low-key makes sense because they're both really weird people in that movie. So that makes a lot of sense. Karen doesn't get much change. She's just Karen. She's just dumb. There is no like boob, no more like boob telling the weather thing though, which was fitting in the first movie. We get Damien does end up with someone, I think. I feel like it's one of the athletes. We get Miss Norbury and Principal, what's his name as the principal? I don't remember. They're married in this one, which I really thought was really cute because I was like, that tracks. Like if you're still teaching at the same school, I can see that happening, especially in the first movie where like she took off her shirt because it was wet and like you saw her like bra or something. And in this movie they're married. I like that. I think that was really cute. It was really like good fan service. I liked seeing Lindsay Lohan in this because this was her movie, her and well basically everyone in the first movie, like this was their movie, like they were so good. What else did I enjoy? I'm really thinking what else did I enjoy about the changes, because those are like the main changes I remember that I really liked, but everything else I think it was fine. If I were to rank it or give it a rating, probably 5.5 out of 10. It's like probably I'm gonna watch it again, not really planning to, but I feel like if it's on, I will watch, and then I'll probably walk out during some of the singing scenes by the songs I don't like. But yeah, I think it was fine. I don't think this was the best movie. I don't think it was the worst movie. It's really tanking in reviews right now. Understandably, the marketing was wrong. The singing sometimes was tough, and this really is not your mom's Mean Girls. It really is a different Mean Girls. It is like made for TV Mean Girls in a way. I don't know if that's mean to say, but it's kind of like made for TV Mean Girls. And there's no better way of saying that because I think that's just what it is, you know? And I will make people watch this because I have to. Oh, I also like the Christmas scene, the Jingle Bell Rock scene. I didn't talk about it just because, again, it was just sped through like everything else. But I really liked the dance scene. The dance scene was really fun. It was very kind of like on the nose of what people would do like nowadays, very trendy. Love it. Renee Rapp, she like, for me, I think it was nice to see someone who isn't a size like 0 playing Regina, and I think a lot of people who had expectations for that were upset about that, but I really liked it because it was like, she's not like I can say this because I'm like a size 15, but she is not like plus size, but she's not like super like model thin, and it's very, I really like seeing that. I really like that, and people who didn't, I was like, you're weird, you're rude. But yeah, that's it. Okay, I've talked for 50 minutes. I'm tired. I have to edit this, and there's no B-roll at the moment of recording this, but I'm keeping an eye out to see if there's going to be any B-roll coming out on social media, so that way I can not just have you guys watch me talk for 40 minutes, because you guys aren't going to watch that. And also, you guys never have watched me do a video like this before, but I really want to do it because I already watched it, and I'm not going to react to it because I've watched it. But if you want me to watch the original Mean Girls again, I will. I will not watch Mean Girls 2. It is the worst of the franchise. Low-key, this version was better than Mean Girls 2. Everything is better than Mean Girls 2. It was made for TV, and it was bad. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
It's what they all expect from me, but it's so shallow.